Have you ever said yes when every part of you meant no? And then later you felt drained and frustrated, maybe even resentful? That's not a communication problem. That's a self trust problem. And today I'm going to show you exactly why your boundaries keep breaking and how to fix it in real time. So, in the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn why boundaries collapse under pressure, the exact pattern that causes self betrayal, and a simple system that I've used that you can use immediately to start building self trust. And more importantly, you're going to feel a shift, the shift that you want to feel, and not just to understand it, but the shift that will help you put into action some new disciplines, new habits. So I'm Sara Basloe, a business results coach and past Tony Robbins master coach for 20 years. I really want to thank you for being here or listening to the replay. Before we talk strategy, I know the people that are here with me today, Catherine and Vicky, will understand this. We talk, we train state. So we're going to do an exercise. It's you can find it in YouTube. It's called priming. We're going to raise our arms. We're going to do a shortened version of it, but we're going to raise our arms breathing in and lower our arms breathing out. And we're just going to do it for 10 minutes. Not sorry, 10 minutes for 10 times with the count of 10. And it's so that you can really get oxygen into your system, and that oxygen goes to your brain, and you can be clear and think better for the rest of your day. So, on the count of three, start raising your arms and breathe in, and then come down, breathe out. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay. Excellent. 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 So feel that before I do these webinars, these programs, I jump on a rebounder to get my oxygen going. It's really important to take care of that. And it resets your entire day, your emotional state and your physical state. So now ask yourself, where am I not choosing myself? Where am I not choosing myself? And write that down. If you want, put it in the chat. But where am I not choosing myself? And this is a big one. What am I tolerating? What am I tolerating? And don't judge the answer that comes to mind. Just let it bring it in. It's just information for you. So whatever comes first to your thoughts, write it down. What am I tolerating? Now, bring to mind a moment where you fully respected yourself, going to the opposite, where you fully respected yourself, where you were in what I call the SAGE, another um, um, program, a great book called Positive Intelligence. But go to that moment where you fully respected yourself. See it. Take a deep breath in, feel it, and step into that version of you. So bring to mind a moment where you fully respected yourself, see it, feel it, step into that version of you. That version of you, that's who we're training today. That's the version we want to focus on today. And just know this work deepens faster when it's supported. So you're being here today, listening to the replay, this all supports this work to really go deeper. So here's the truth. Most people miss. They don't rise to their intentions, they fall to their conditioning. You might want to write that one down because I think that's a gem. You don't rise to your intentions, you fall to your conditioning. So if your boundaries keep breaking, it's not because you don't know what to say. It's because your system is trained under pressure to not recognize it. It's because your system is not trained under pressure to really recognize when you lose those boundaries and they collapse. So every time you override yourself, you weaken your self trust. And most people try to fix this alone and stay stuck in the same loop. Let me show you the loop. So, this is what's really happening. There's a trigger. Someone asks something of you, there's an emotional spike, you react, and guilt, pressure, and fear, the old pattern comes into play. And you say yes when you really mean no. I know we've all been there. I know, I know we've all been there. Those of us on, in here today, and maybe even you watching the replay, but we've all been there. We say yes when we mean no. We over explain or we avoid in that moment, and then we abandon ourselves. We give in. As I mentioned earlier, there's this philosophy called positive intelligence, and it's something called the pleaser. It's one of our saboteurs. Definitely read the book. It's positive intelligence, but it's that pleaser that says yes when we really want to say no, and it creates resentment and it cycles. The cycle just repeats when that happens. So boundaries don't fail in the conversation. They fail in 3 seconds before. 3 seconds before the conversation, your head is already knowing you're giving in. I mean, it's amazing to be aware of that. And Vicki, you're shaking your head. You see that, you know that. It is amazing. You can see clearly. And you can't change it consistently. So because you haven't set those strong boundaries. And so what you need to do instead is focus on the behavior, and that's that training mental fitness. And there are three muscles that we built. Please make a note of this: awareness, regulation, and execution. So the three muscles, we it's almost like going to the gym. It's mental fitness, as I said earlier, awareness, regulation, and execution. So awareness is catching the moment before you abandon yourself. It's like, those 3 seconds before you actually open your mouth. That's where you want to catch yourself abandoning yourself and going, oh yes, okay, we've all been there. So that's awareness. Then it's regulation. It's feeling the discomfort without collapsing into the old pattern. It's feeling the discomfort of knowing you're going to say, you want to say no. And then how you're going to, it's like getting that pit in your stomach because then you're going to say no. It's whether it's with a client, a team member, somebody that reports to you that you are their supervisor, a customer. It's in that moment of discomfort that you really feel that pit in your stomach. And the next third piece is execution. So it's following through on what's true, even when it's uncomfortable. Following through on what's true, even when it's uncomfortable. So self-trust is built in reps, as I said, like working out, not intentions. And this is where people split. Some try to do it alone, and others build with a structure where feedback's available and they're in the right environment to practice. Sometimes it's just a matter of practicing. So let's now make this a practice. There's two simple tools. And again, you may want to make a note of this. So the first tool is pause, power, and proceed. 3 Ps: pause, power, and proceed. So pause is interrupt the automatic reaction. When you get that somebody coming to you, they want you to do something, or it may not even be them asking. If you're talking to a customer, you may feel like, oh, I need to give this to them. It'll help them make that decision to go with me. And that is a pattern. So you want to pause and notice when you go into those automatic reactions, whether it's, your business, your family, friends, wherever that shows up. So pause. Then there's power, and that's actually choosing self-respect, to know that, your time, maybe it's an issue. You could do that thing that you want to offer that client, or you could do that thing that the client is asking for, and yet you don't have the bandwidth to accommodate that. And so choosing self-respect really lets you set yourself up to say no. And that's where we come to proceed. So choose self-respect and then proceed from that place. Act from that place of self-respect. And it may simply be like, I'd like to say yes to you, but it won't work today, or it won't work now. And let's revisit it at another time. It's putting it off, but it's being clear on your self-respect. And so that brings us to the next piece, which is called clear. That's the second tool. And so clear is made up, it's an acronym. So clear is center yourself, regulate yourself. And then label. So label it. Here's in your head, you'll say to yourself, here's what's really happening. So clear is center, then L is label. Here's what's happening. And then express. What matters to me is. So you could even express that out loud or express it to yourself. What matters to me is I want to do a great job for this client, and I don't have the bandwidth or the time to do it. So when I say yes and I don't follow through, or I don't do it with joy, they can feel that energy. So what matters most is a value. What's important to you? So express that to yourself unconsciously or consciously to the person you're talking to. And then, so we're talking clear. CLEA is assert. Here's what I need moving forward. Here's what I need moving forward. Assert. Here's what I need moving forward. And then the R is reinforce. I care about this relationship. Why? I care about this relationship. It's important for me to help my client, to help my spouse, to help my authors, my publisher. I care about this relationship. Why? And this supports it. This supports you making that clear decision on how you will respond, yes or no. So that pause builds identity, and clear communicates it. So the pause that we talked about, the 3 Ps, and then the clear communicates it. It seems so simple, but it's something you have to put into, like, anchor it in, put it into your habits. And you're listening, think of one conversation you can apply to this immediately. Maybe it's something that happened this morning, or maybe something yesterday. Think of a conversation that you might be able to apply this to, where you came away feeling just awful because you said yes when you really wanted to say no. So now here's where this really locks in. You don't train this in the big moments. You train it in the small ones. Like I was saying, you really want to anchor it in. Delay a response. Say no in low stakes situations where there's not a huge consequence. And also, what happens when you do this, when there is a big situation, the clarity that you approach it with is so incredible, because the person that you're in communication with, because that's what we're talking about today is relationships, is the creativity you come up with in how to deal with that request from someone else or some situation that comes up. That's a big deal for you, not a low stake. It's so interesting. Your brain is now in the habit of figuring this all out. And when it's a big deal, it comes up with the things that, so somebody's requesting something of you, and your brain has already practiced it. And it's comfortable. It just easily rolls off your tongue. Your brain has it all created and set up. And the person understands it. There's no, when you're speaking with somebody and you say yes to them and you don't really want it, the whole energy changes. And they can feel that. You can feel it. So here's the truth. Most people avoid the pause. Your environment either reinforces your old patterns or you set new standards. And when you have self-respect, it's normal to surround yourself and have that support to really make life be the way you want it. And when that happens, everything accelerates. So now what I want to give you is something simple to lock this in. This is not journaling, although I know you, Vicky hasn't been here, but I am so hot to trot on this tool. It's called the Promptings Journal. You'll find it down in if you're watching this replay, you'll find it in the replay notes. And if you're interested, Vicky, I can give you the link to it. But it's not just about journaling. That really helps it. It's really about conditioning. At the end of your day, ask yourself, where did I choose myself? At the end of the day, ask yourself, where did I choose myself? And I'm going to overload you with tools, but there's another tool that I just became familiar with. That's an app called Done It. So for people who are who are overachievers and love to get things done and have to-do lists, and you get things off your to-do list, and then you look at the to-do list and you still have another ton of things to do, you never acknowledge yourself for the things that you've done. So again, it's really supporting yourself. It's choosing yourself to give yourself the right messages. So just getting back to our saying yes when we want to say no, what discomfort did you stay with in the last week? What discomfort? Ask yourself, what discomfort did I stay present with and get through it and not allow it to pull me out of my boundaries? What boundary did you honor? And another thought for you to anchor in this new standard is, what evidence do I have that I trust myself? If you're dieting, you know, and you say, I'm not going to eat X, and then 5 hours later you eat X, you're not trusting yourself. You haven't proven to yourself that there's that trust in what you say you will do. So it's really important to think about who you are becoming. Do you do what you say you will do? And when this is supported and witnessed, it locks in faster. That's why it's great that you come here. This is daily training. You don't need more information. You need repetition to anchor things in. Self-trust is built in what you no longer negotiate. You might want to write that gem down. Self-trust is built in what you no longer negotiate. Like I was saying about dieting, you say to yourself, I'm not going to eat X. And then 5 hours later, you're actually negotiating with yourself. Well, I said I wouldn't eat that, and here I am, eating it. Or it may be with a client that you're going to have a client meeting and you've already decided that this is what you're going to provide and not and not more or not less or whatever it might be. But when you're in the moment, you're negotiating with yourself, and self-trust is built in what you no longer negotiate. So now, if you're listening to this on replay and you're thinking, I'm done repeating this pattern, or you're here, Vicki and Kath, and you say to yourself, I'm done repeating this pattern, there are a few ways to go deeper. So, first, there's a 7-day boundary mental fitness challenge that I put together. If you're interested in that, please put challenge in the chat so I can get back to you with the details on that. This is where I recommend most people start. It's simple, structured, 7 days. Each day, you receive a short 10 to 15-minute training video, and you apply it immediately in your real life. And then we pair it with just a 15-minute accountability session, so it's not taking you a lot of time. So you actually follow through. And this program is self-guided. It's not solo because I'm here with you in the 7 days. You will feel the shift. You'll feel the shift in how you show up. It's just amazing. The second thing is that I'd like to offer to anyone watching this replay and Vicki and Kath is something that I'm launching with a coaching partner, another Tony Robbins coach, past Tony Robbins coach, called the CE Reset Council. If you know your environment matters, this is a space where self-respect is standard. You're not just learning this, you're surrounded by people living it, and everything accelerates. It's really, I myself am in some other groups like this, and my success, accomplishments, everything have just skyrocketed. And third, individual coaching. If you want precision, we go straight to patterns, and we oh God, tongue twister, we rewire them in real time and build standards that stick. This is the fastest path to deep change, and that's working together. You don't need more information. You need repetition, support, and a standard. So choose a level that matches who you're ready to be. And remember, you don't lose people when you set boundaries. You lose misalignment. You don't lose people when you set boundaries. You lose misalignment. So our next weekly momentum webinar is next Tuesday on Tuesday, May 12th. It's money momentum. It's part of our money and it's part of our wealth and money mindset series. It's money momentum, small shifts that lead to big wins. You won't want to miss this one. It will be interesting. And for those interested in any of the momentum building programs I mentioned today, please copy my information. Vicki, and Kath, can you see the information in the chat okay. It'll come up again. So, and for those watching the replay, please see the notes. And of course, please subscribe, watch the video, make comments. And Kevin and Vicki, if you want to go watch the replay again, would love you to subscribe to my channel and make this one of your success practices. This is a great tool. And thank you for being here. Truly be triumphant and have an outstanding day.
Thanks, Sarah. I have to run today, but thank you very much.
That's great. Thanks, Kat. I appreciate that.